What is going on, collectors? Optical 20 back for another video review. Today we're going to take a look at CZ Toys The Last Survivor Part 2. We know who they're talking about here. It is The Last of Us Ellie. And this is a third party figure. They don't make first party Last of Us. And I just want to warn you right now, this is a bit of a longer review than I normally do, because there's tons of accessories in here. And not only that, I love Last of Us. I believe it's not Last of Us 2. The first Last of Us was the best game ever made in mankind history. So yeah, I'm gonna be a bit biased on the story here, but on the figure, I'll try to be as objective as I could, because I know some of these parts I might look into this with a rose-colored glasses, kind of like when I reviewed Lord of the Rings or 300 or something like that. You know, I do love the franchise, but as far as this figure, this retails for $175. So it's not terrible, especially for something with this much accessories. You can see she got like a sketchbook, a shotgun, which is different than Joel, by the way. You know, I do have Joel as well. She got this, you know, guns with silencer of a Coke bottle. And then she has a revolver. She got a massive array of weapons here. She got the dagger. Yeah, even forgot about that. She got some Molotov cocktail as well, which is pretty much the same as Joel. Flashlight, which attaches to her backpack. You've seen this. A brick, which is pretty cool. Maybe a little bit more water weathering would be cool. And Ellie herself. And you can see here, this one, I'm not a big fan of this tattoo. It feels like it is just in there. You know, like when you get a fresh tattoo, you got that thin layer there. That's how it feels like. And then you got an extra head sculpt, which is pretty cool as well. I do like that look. Her bracelet, I forgot, I think Dina gave it to her. You got a bunch of hands there. And this was a surprise to me. This pack of jointed hands right here is pretty cool. Then you got this pin. For those who collects pins, that's cool. You got an arrow, or a bow, I mean. And you got the guitar. The Taylor guitar that I just learned so much from Will, because I know he bought one on eBay. He got the actual one, by the way. You know, it's got some arrows in there. Her backpack, which is nice. This stand that is pretty basic, just black. I don't mind. I maybe they did it just black so you could customize it yourself. You can put whatever you want to do. You know, like put stickers on top or whatever. And then she got the sniper rifle, which is nice, but I'm not a big fan of the paint application there. Kind of looks toyish to me. And some machete, which is cool. It has bloods on it and a pipe. And you got some other stuffs here, like extra tattoos, some bandages, and that is pretty much it, you know. And then there's a bunch of stuff inside. So, but let's take a closer look in these accessories, which takes up majority, as a matter of fact, of this review. So you got some bloody hands in here, some knuckles that are black. It is pretty cool. I like the fact that it is matching the skin tone, first and foremost. And not only that, they went out of their way to give her like bloody knuckles and fingertips and all that stuff. It is cool. It just goes with the overall theme. Now, her face does have bloods on it. When it doesn't, I wish there was hands that doesn't, you know. But that's okay. That's not a big deal. And as you can see here, this is the extra head sculpt, which we would dive more a little bit later. And I like this. I like the idea that you can swap out the arms. This is something that we've been asking Hot Toys to do forever. You know, for somebody like Thor or Wolverine, that you have the option to display them with seamless arms and jointed arms. So if you want to post them around, you know, you don't run into the problem of breaking them. And I just want to show you the head sculpt. She does have that adjustable neck kind of thing, so that is pretty cool. It makes the swap out of the head sculpt pretty easy. And you got some bracelets in there, some pins from, I don't know, the NASA thing that they went to. So that is cool. I mean, I got a bunch of pins from the collector's edition from The Last of Us 2. I don't really know what to do with them. It's this one right here. It's still sealed. What do you guys do with pins? Because I know people collect pins. I got one from the Hot Toys 20th anniversary. I don't really know what people do with them. Like, I don't. Yeah. Do they put them in a book? I don't know. and you got a bunch of tattoos. I guess if that peels, the one on her forearm, eventually, I don't know, so you can replace it. This is really cool right here. Her sketchbook or drawing pad, whatever you want to call this. It has unique drawings in them. They could have left it blank, but attention to details. Love it, CC Toys. And you got a bunch of I don't know what you call this, wraps and some scissors that she uses for creating shivs, or wrapping it on the pipe, so you could create like a dangerous looking I don't know, piece, on a 2x4 or something. I guess she does that. Now moving along, we got her jacket, which would be my preferred look, because this would conceal the joints that would allow me to put her jointed arms in the figure itself, because I intend on posing her a lot. I do like the look of her being jointless, with seamless arms, but I want to pose her around, man. And her backpack, I think they did a pretty good job on recreating that, because I kind of compare this to the statue that I do have, and look at that. They gave you another magnet, so this is the best way to do it. It's pretty easy. You just attach the magnet on one end, and the flashlight itself does have a magnet on its own, so you can attach it without compromising anything, not using super glue or anything like that. And now you got the guitar, the Taylor guitar, which is, I don't know, maybe Will can answer this, because the strings looks like all nylons in here, so maybe that's how it is in real guitar. But I like it because this is their third party, so they don't care about branding. So they did branded it as Taylor. Once again, attention to details. And it does have that firefly or whatever signal that is on the 3rd fret. So that is pretty cool. And you see all the details. It even has a thing inside of the guitar, that Taylor symbol right there, or branding. That's cool. I like it. I don't know if it's supposed to have a gloss or not, though. That would have been a nice touch. Now, it comes with this pack with some blue tacks and some extra buttons. This one's the revolver. Painted nicely, if you ask me. The hammer doesn't go down. It doesn't need to. And the chamber inside, it's nice. It moves around. Now, she does come with a holster, which I don't know where it attaches to. It looks like it's supposed to go to the legs. I know that, but in the game, it looks like she does not have one. So if you can put in the comments down below, if where am I supposed to put this, let me know. Some Molotov cocktail and the brick, which is nicely painted. A little bit more blood on the brick would be nice, or a little bit more weathering, like black wash or something. Now let's jump into the weapons. She does have this nice, beautiful knife. Is this a butterfly knife or spring-loaded? I forgot, but it does have blood at the bottom. Nice handle, as you can see here. Nicely done. It looks like this feels like an M92 Beretta. Looks pretty good here. And then you got the silencer from the movie. I forgot that movie. I think it's Shooter with Mark Wahlberg. I don't even know if that's real. Or if it really works that way. And you get some machete here with some blood. And I like the fact that this is not perfect. You can see the edge has some, markings on it, like dents and whatever the case is. And then the handle is wrapped in a tape. Beautiful. And you got a sniper rifle. And the paint application is decent, but I wish they could have put more black wash in it so it's not too brown. Because it looks like it's freshly coated with varnish and all that stuff. It would have been nice with some weathering on it. This one's not bad. Like look at the handle. It's some black weathering on it. That kind of like reminds you of an actual wood. And the bottom right there. And at first glance, both shotguns between Ellie and Joel, but Joel has a stock on his shotgun. Now this doesn't move at all. There's no articulation whatsoever, but that's okay. Again, she got some arrows in here, which has some, I like the overall paint application in here. The blood, it looks like it's been used. She took it back, because they do that in the game. You would use the arrow, take it back. And you can see the tip right there. It has some bloods on it as well. Beautifully done. Kudos CC Toys, man. It's a bunch of stuff. And initially, when you look at this, you're going to be like, where am I going to put all of these? I'll show you how. She does have some nice handle in here. I'm not that particular when it comes to these things unless I notice them, but they do look good. And this is the pipe, which nicely painted. What you could do as well is on the edge of this, you can put those two scissor thingies, you know, the split scissors, and you can kind of recreate the game, wrap it up with the bandage, and you got the melee weapon there. And you know what? It looks great when you have the Joker table. If you don't, you can get one at a store that I know of. I'll put the link. It's like $16 along with the with a chair. But I think with this much accessories, and the one that I'm putting in here, the one that doesn't go in her backpack, I think it looks great. Now, I got this table from my DX11, but as you know, there's like a bunch of third parties, you know, that are selling this pretty similar desk. And when you post her like this, I think it looks great because you actually use the accessories that it comes with, or at least you can display them. So I think that's a nice touch. And this is the backpack, how she configures it in the collector's edition of The Last of Us 2. Now you can see the arrows are inside the backpack, but you can't do that in this one because there's only one zipper, and it goes all the way down. Now if you go in the middle, then the bag is pretty much going to be open. So you kind of replicate the side pockets or the side strings in here. So you got the machete on the side, the sniper rifle. And if you Google her look in the game, you can kind of have a pattern on how you want to proceed with this. But yeah, I'm just showing you. You can tighten those, you know, strings on the side. You could do that, the straps, I mean, and create this. You can see the, you know, like the pins as well. That's pretty nicely done. But yeah, the color is pretty similar. And now let's go to the figure itself. You get those dirty all-stars, those Chuck Taylors. They're beautiful, man. And the jeans, I love it because it is form-fitting to her, kind of exactly what she is on the game. And this is her, for me, this is kind of like her iconic look. I don't want to, I'm almost tempted to pick up one more so I can display her on this look. And then maybe a parted out body, because I just need a body, and maybe the jeans and shoes, because I can put the jacket on and the other head sculpt and make the use of it. I hope they sell those, you know, just a body with jeans and pants. And look at the tattoos right here, nicely detailed. But again, I don't know if it's the material of the silicone that, you know, creates that. You can see the transparent part, which you wouldn't see on the seamless arms. Look at those dirty shoes that she does have as well. The bad part on this is it doesn't have any articulation on the ankles, which makes it hard for her to stand up on her own. But you can see the branding right there of Converse All-Stars. So, I mean, this is something. If Hot Toys did it, you wouldn't see that branding because they don't want to spend more money that they already did for the licenses. But I think it just gives more realism. You know, you get closer at least to the game. Maybe the game itself does not have this branding anyway. I don't know if the game paid Converse for this, but you know, it does look good. And you can see the sleeves. It's fraying on the edge. It looks nice. I mean, we're in the apocalyptic world in here, so not everything is perfect. So it just form-fitting. You know, some dirt kind of dried up. I wish they were a little bit more prominent though, because you can see hints of them, and even all throughout her body, her arms, you can see hints of dried up blood or speckles and all that stuff, which is cool. I just wish they were a little bit more prominent. So let's take a look at the head sculpt here. So I found this image on Google, you know, of Ellie, and we'll fade into the CC Toys, which is, it's there. It's not 100% there, obviously. It's not 10 out of 10. But I'm not mad about it. I think it's pretty close. Again, for us fans, especially for me, a hardcore fan, I'm just happy that I got an Ellie. You know, I missed out on the first CC Toys, which is The Last of Us 1. And I'm kicking myself because that's now going for crazy prices. Is that something that I wish would get reissued? Because well, you know what? I got some hope, because HBO is actually doing the Last of Us TV show, and hopefully I can get a crack at Ellie and, you know, and Joel there in that form. But I hope they don't deviate too much from the game. So, because I love the first game, you know, am I gonna love this TV show? I'm betting, if they don't deviate so much, I'm sure I will. But this is a beautiful sculpt itself. Again, not perfect, but it will do. It is Ellie to me. You can see Ellie in there. That's all that matters. This one, this is the, I don't even know if you can call this angry. Maybe angry and scared. Her eyes kind of are presenting she's kind of scared. I don't like the idea that her eyes are not symmetrical here. Like one is looking one way. Kind of, it looks goofy, but I could live with it. She got some blood splatters on her face. Like a little bit of speckles in there. You can see that she just hacked someone, and she's scared and mad at the same time. It might be somebody. Who knows, but it shows emotion, which I do like. If you are into photography or if you're creating a scene, this is beautiful because it convey. If you're displaying her in a museum pose, fine, use the other one. But if you're trying to display her or take a picture of her hacking, let's say the clicker, this is good. This is perfect. Or somebody, let's say she saw Joel getting his head busted open. Something like that. Spoiler alert. But yeah, it looks good. Looks kind of goofy, but it's all right. And you make her look down. It's all about perspective here. You tuck her chin down a little bit. She looks like she's looking up. That looks more like the cover. And then you put some dark shadows on top of her head. And this, let's go to the articulation here. So the head moves freely. Now it's the head sculpt. There's a neck joint underneath that silicone body or neck, and that you can move around as well. It bends pretty nicely here, pretty tight, but you don't want to do that for a long period of time. There's some ab crunch here. She could sit down. I can tell you that. She could sit down. You can move the knees, pretty tightly here, 90 degrees. There's no ankle articulation because it's all one piece, but I think she's fully poseable in my opinion. Like you could do a whole bunch of poses in her, and her outfit doesn't hinder any articulation. The pants might be a little tight, but that's all right. It's still manageable, and the arms can go up because it is separate from the joints. This is not like a Hellboy figure where the shoulders are completely seamless. And here she is. We'll just put her in a few poses before we wrap this thing up. Here she is in the jungle with the seamless arms, which looks fantastic, if I might add. Now, one problem is on the right hand, you can actually put her bracelet to kind of hide that ball joint. The joint basically between the wrist. You can't do that on the other arm though, on the left hand side. I don't know if she's lefty, but she is, she's ambidextrous now. She's pointing the gun with her left hand and holding the pipe on the other. But you can see the ball joint there. There's not much you could do. If you do this with a jacket, you can kind of pull the jacket to hide it. And here she is hunting for an elk in the woods, and it's winter time. So she found somebody, and she's gonna shoot him. She's gonna shoot him. But this is my preferred look. As much as if you take out the jacket, you would expose the joints on the elbows. But if you don't, you'll be limited into poses that you could do. And I intend to pose her a lot. So this would be my go-to look from here on forward. And here she is with a bunch of, she doesn't wear a mask because she has the immunity, so that spores doesn't really affect her. So she is inside running some, what do you call that? When a raid supply. They're trying to get some supplies inside a building. Doesn't need a mask, not unlike Joel, and she's safe. And you see the blood on her face. She probably just killed someone, a person. That she's not too happy about. And here she is with the diorama that my uncle made for me in the woods here, or in the Badlands, whatever. And it's perfect, I think, for this environment. It's made out of styrofoam, really. Nothing special here. We went to Michael's. He was bored, took some paint and brush and painted this. I think for photography it would look nicer, because I can kind of edit this to my liking. In a video I can color correct it, but as much as possible I don't want to. And here she is, riding the horse from Star Ace. By the way, shout out to Star Ace. It's a beautiful horse. They're cheap too. They're like 100 something compared to that Mr. Z horse. It's a bit smaller horse, but Ellie is not a big figure as well. It fits perfectly. Even on Joel it fits nicely. I just like the overall look of this horse. It does have this rooted hair But the paint application is just phenomenal. This came with the James Dean, but you can buy the horse by itself. This one, again, this is the deluxe version with James Dean. And I got the trio right here. Clicker, Joel, and Ellie. You can just see the height comparison here. Ellie obviously is going to be the shorter out of the three. I think Joel and Clicker are pretty much the same size. It's just that the Clicker, you know, it's a Clicker. It has this weird head. And, you know, Joel looks a little bit bulky. He looks like he doesn't have a neck. That's my problem with Joel. He kind of looks like Rick Grimes from the first 3-0 because of how they, you know, the color is popping out. They could have fixed it a little bit better, or, you know, give him an extender. I don't know, but yeah, it just looks like he doesn't have a neck. But there you go, guys. Ellie from The Last of Us 2 from CC Toys. Beautiful figure. What can I say? Again, I might be a little biased here because I do love The Last of Us. But once you factor in the price of $175 and everything that you're getting, plus you got to keep in mind this is a third party. The best in the business is Hot Toys. There are, you know, first party figure, there are licensed figures that doesn't get the head sculpt correctly. You know, 3-0 Asmus. Don't get them all the time. You know, some of them, the Rambos, good at 3-0. The Game of Thrones, hit or miss. This one, not completely a hit. I wouldn't say it's complete a miss as well. I think she looks good. Definitely would work out if you're a fan. I mean, it's not like you have a lot of options here. I guess you got the M Toys or whatever that is. I wouldn't review that. You know, it's pretty much the same to me. I think that has a slightly better head sculpt, but when you factor in what everything else comes with this one, I don't know. I think the decision is pretty easy for me. Plus, this one has a companion piece like Joel and Clicker, so they would just they would just like mesh with all of them. So with that being said, I bought all three of them, as you saw earlier with the size comparison. But yeah, again, a great figure in my opinion. Great price, you know, decent price, fair, I would say. But yeah, I'll review Joel and Clicker again, you know, in the upcoming days, so just keep an eye on that. Thank you for watching, guys. If you like this kind of video, give it a thumbs up. It really does help out the channel. I want to thank my members for keeping this channel going, you know, supporting the channel and all that stuff. I do want to thank you guys. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so. Follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitch. And I'll see you guys in the next video.